Hello fellow book nerds and welcome back to another exclusive book review. So this is a book I read recently, The Gymnast by Sanjay Chandra, and the reason why I decided to do a book review on this is because after reading so many thrillers and horrors and romantic stories and everything, I wanted something very realistic. At the same time, I didn't want it to be a biography or any non-fiction book because I wanted a bit of fiction but also something which is as realistic as it gets. And this was the exact definition of that because first of all, the gymnastics and street performers series really intrigued me because this is not something we hear about often, right? Like we even got to know about chess through the Queen's Gambit. We have heard a lot of movies and TV shows and books about cricket and soccer and football, various different sports like that, but gymnastics is really rare, and street performing specifically, that's extremely rare, right? So I was thinking, how could the author have been empathetic and how did he go about his research process? Because only if you understand how those people feel, what they go through, you can write a story that's believable. So I'm really amazed to know more about that. And this story I felt is very inspiring to young adults and teenagers because it talks about children who are like quite a young age, and it inspires people to chase their dreams. It's a very compelling story. It inspires people to go ahead and fulfill their dreams. The sky is the limit. Honestly, even if you see the cover, it's so beautiful and it gives so much promise to the younger generation, right? Like when their minds are in that moldable state, and it really gives them a lot of inspiration during that stage. And I also got a lot of intelligence about how there's a lack of structure in gymnastics and sports like that, because people who wish to get into it kind of need to get the training, get the infrastructure all by themselves, and they have to go through a lot of pressure, a lot of problems in order to make what they need. So it's not like if you need cricket, you have so many academies for it, you have so many YouTube videos even to learn about it, but it's not so with gymnastics. So it really talks about that, how there's a lack of structure in it. And it also talks about the character and how much she had to go through to craft a way to perform at an international level for herself. And it also talks about the film industry in a few points. That's how diverse the book is and how much it exploits women at a certain stage. And there again, I think the author has been very empathetic because even though these are very like tough topics to talk about, he has dealt with it in as sensitive a way as possible, which is why I'm really curious about the research process because it felt so unique, and the voice it gave to such underrepresented people was truly amazing. Another thing I found compelling was how he talks about substance abuse and how youngsters tend to get into all these banned substances and they kind of have to go to rehab and everything. At the same time, their parents have to tell them to study properly, get a good education, not to leave their studies in the middle, complete their degrees properly, whether it is to get into performance like this or get into the film industry or because of the substance abuse they go through. There are so many reasons why children these days tend to get diverted from the path they need to follow, and the struggle that parents need to go through in order to bring them back to the right track. That was also discussed a lot and I really loved it. And it's the perfect rags to riches story. To tell in a very simple way, it's the perfect rags to riches story I've heard because it talks about various different characters from various different backgrounds and situations they want, like from which point in their life till which point they want to get. And all of them have one thing in common: they are from a very underrepresented and backward kind of family. So they are not elite, they don't have they are not entitled to anything in life. And it's about how they go from complete nothing, from complete rock bottom till an international standard or achieving something great in life. And that's what makes this book so inspiring. It's about the various different voices in it, and by the time it's a very quick read as well. It's a very short book and the text is quite big, so it's actually quite easy to finish this in maybe a day or so, which is why I found it so interesting, and I highly recommend you guys to pick this up. It's available on Amazon right now, and get ready with a box of tissues because by the end I was crying in this book. That's how empathetic and realistic it felt. So if you like this review, definitely let us know in the comments below, and do pick up this book next, and stay tuned for our next book review coming very soon. Thanks for watching.